Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and this is my final 12 by 12 with this collection. So I'm still going to try and gut, I'm still going to try and make some more projects, but this is my final 12 by 12. I'm really trying to use a lot of the scraps I have used up on here. I want this to be have a lot of fun big layers in it. I started with the B-sides of a lot of these papers. I was really liking how the black and white theme was looking with this photo. But once I laid it all out, it was looking a little too blah, and I wasn't really feeling inspired. And I had a lot of colorful items to the left in my embellishment, so I really wanted to go more for the color. So I flipped all these papers over to the brighter sides, and I think this will be a more of a fun, bright, colorful layout. So I'm just staggering all of these scraps. I really like to design like this when I have a lot of scraps left over. I feel like it always gives you a really interesting shape when you do that. I'm starting with this multicolored stripe, so I definitely want to gut a huge chunk of this, so I'll have it for another layout. But that right away gives me the freedom to use any color in this collection because that stripe has it all in it. So I am not going to shy away from the orange. I'm going to try and get a lot of the like green and the bright orangey coral used up. Mustard, a lot of the colors I haven't really used a whole lot this month. I'm going to try and get on this layout just because I have this fun colored background and I think it's my best chance to get that stuff on a page. I'm gutting a bunch of the layers that are going to be covered by other papers, so just bear with me while I get that stuff glued down. I'm really hoping to get another project out of this, so anything I can gut might be just enough to kind of give me the look I need on another page. I am going to go ahead and ink a lot of these layers just because there's a lot of color on color, and it was kind of giving me, I don't know, it was a lot. And I just feel like blackening the edges a little bit by inking all of these layers, it still makes everything cohesive, but that darker edge kind of grounds it a little bit. I love using black on super colorful layout because I feel like it makes the color pop even more. But I love having that darker element of the black to kind of, give it a darker edge, and I think that looks better. So right away, I like how that orange looks on this stripe with the dark edge. So I'm going to try and remember to ink everything this page. I feel like the last time I tried to ink a page, I forgot a lot of the elements I wanted to ink initially. So I think I do okay on this one. But I have this yellow grid I decided to be my main background for my photos to sit. So I'm going to get that glued on. And I'm going to try and do really good with my ephemera and my branding strips this page because I know we're nearing the end of these products. I definitely also want to try and get at least one pocket card on here too. But I feel like I've actually been doing okay with the pocket cards, even though I added two to my kit since I had similar or the same card from my stash. So I'm going to see what happens. But I usually matte my photos in white. I decided to matte it in black since I'm already doing this dark edge. Just a really skinny matte in the black just to give it that illusion that it's also inked. But I wanted that dark edge. And then I have this plaid that's going to be my little horizontal bit to stick out from my photo where I can embellish. So I really like that too. Again, I'm going to pull in one of my black and white 6x6 papers that I brought in the beginning of the month from my stash just to give me another pop of black and another layer. And I like that. So I'm going to get that glued on. And then I think this is pretty much my paper layers once I get this together. And then I can pretty much just focus on embellishing. But I think this is kind of a fun, quick and easy design when you have a lot of scraps, is to just stagger them like this. I feel like you always come out with something kind of fun. There we go. I am kind of noticing already that a lot with doing this and having all my corners square, I could have rounded some of these, could have torn an edge. I think all of those things would have been cool. Maybe do a border punch on the top or side or bottom of one of these layers would look really cool if you don't like the super boxy look. But I'm just trying to go forward. I don't really want to do any of that to these square corners, but I do want to pull in a bunch of elements that kind of have rounded things to break up all of the square boxiness. So right away I have my mustard scalloped border. I'm going to lay that right underneath my photo to create a little shelf. And then from my stash, one of the pocket cards that I included in the beginning that wasn't from this kit was this green checkered, and I really wanted to pull in more of the green. There's not a whole lot of green in this collection, but with this multicolor stripe and a lot of the stuff I have left in this kit, there is quite a bit of green. So I decided pulling in this green layer could really help pull that green in on top of the embellishments I want to use. I'm really also happy I used an extra pocket card that wasn't even in this kit. And then these two little black florals I was really trying to get on here from Kelly. I've been trying all month to get them used up, but I've kind of waited on them since I've had the other florals in the collection to use. But there's no floral from this collection on this page, so that kind of gives me the freedom to go with this other type of animated floral. I don't end up using the kind of taller, skinnier piece, but I really love this black and white floral that I put in the lower left-hand corner, so that's going to stay. I did get another word used up, which is exciting. I'm going to pop family up there at the top somewhere, just to pull in some more of that black, and again the loopy kind of rounded corners to break up all this square stuff. And now I'm just trying to beef out some more layers to add with my embellishment cluster. So I had a scrap of this pink and white pattern, so I decided to trim that into a tag. I'm just going to glue a black hole reinforcer and add some black and white twine on that. And I'm just going to tuck that underneath that family word to create a little cluster coming up from my photo. I think that looks cute too. And then once I had that, there was kind of too much of a gap between the tag and the word family, so I wanted more of a gap, sorry, because I tried to move this family down and it was kind of just looking crowded once I did add this tag. So I do end up moving the family up actually to the top of that orange layer and ended up liking that better. I really wanted it down closer to this tag, but it was just looking, I don't know, claustrophobic. But I like it better up there. I am going to add some more stuff around this tag, so this tag still has a cute little cluster around it, but I kind of wanted this family to stand apart. I do have the branding strip of the green stars as well. I really like this branding strip when I saw it in this collection. I just really haven't been using this green, this darker hunter green. I've been using a lot of the neon green. So I really wanted to get this used up too, especially because I am pulling in the green. So I just trimmed it into two pieces, and I'm going to add those on top and bottom of these layers just to bring some more of that green in. And I think that's a cute little touch too. This is from the Science Museum that's in Richmond, Virginia. It was so cool. Like, I love going to museums anyways, but this one in particular, there's just so much interactive stuff in there. It was awesome. I felt like a little kid again. Like, I could have spent all day playing with all the interactive things. And it's really all age groups. I mean, it was me, my adult brother, and my mom that went, and we had so much fun. There's a lot in here, and it's just cool to kind of get hands-on and do a bunch of the experiments and kind of work your noggin. There was a whole section that were kind of brain teasers and puzzles and cognitive function and memory, and those were a lot of fun, especially for my brother. He's got a really good memory. But there was a section where you had to like dance or do yoga, or you had to copy different motions on the screen. And so me and my mom did that and competed against each other doing a little dance thing, or I guess we did the yoga one. And that was kind of fun too. But yeah, just a lot of interactive stuff. There's this one part that's like a little, it's almost like a bowling alley, but it's just like a mini runway, and you could pick which animal you wanted to race. And then there was like a light on the floor that mimicked the speed of that animal, and you had to race it, and that was really fun too. I could go on and on. There was just so much cool stuff in here, so I really wanted to document that. I really wish I would have taken more photos and videos and stuff from inside here, because we did have so much fun, but honestly, like, I was having too much fun to take photos. So the few that I did take weren't even the ones that were like the most exciting. So I decided to just take this one photo from the outside next to this giant granite sphere that's floating on water in the front, and I just think that will, at least I have the location and where we are, and hopefully that'll do. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I just added all of those leaves and plus signs that I had left in my ephemera into those two clusters. And now I really wanted to add something about science just because this was the Science Museum. And so I thought maybe if I could squeeze the word science above the word family, we could have like science family or something like that, but it was not going to fit. So I decided to move the title down to the bottom here and write science. And then what I decided to do was I would do my journaling along the bottom of that yellow grid paper and have it end in the word science. That would be the word that my title. So it takes me a minute to try and compose a sentence that would spatially like end up where that word is, but I'm glad I got another word out of the alpha set because I thought I killed it after my last page, but I was still able to spell science, so we're good. I think we're almost done here. I did decide to go ahead and add the date as well, just so there was another black element. I kind of felt like with the science at the bottom and the family at the top, I wanted something over here to the left to kind of give you that black visual triangle. So I'm just adding the date with that alpha as well. And then I had one more branding strip that has kind of been hard for me to use this month because it says falling leaves, crisp air, sweater weather, and it's very autumnal themed, which we did go in October, so it was autumn, but I just hadn't got a chance to use that this month. And the orange was, I mean, it's an orange solid, so it was just a lot of solid orange, and so I just wanted to add one more layer up there to kind of break it up. So I just added a chunk of that branding strip up there, and I really like how that looks too. I just need to line it up. I think I put it down crooked initially. There we go, and then I think I need to do my title. Oh, I stamp. Guys, I stamped. I used Ronnie's stamping platform. Oh my gosh, this thing is so cool. Thank you so much, Ronnie. I'm going to get so much use out of this thing. I did kind of overcompensate an extra, like I inked too much. So my image still wasn't crisp because I inked way too much, which was like, the whole point of the stamping platform is that you don't have to ink too much because you can double stamp and it'll look crisp, but I was overexcited trying to use this platform and I put way too much ink on this stamp. But I did just decide to add this skinny little house over here on top of the branding strip that's sticking out. And Marcus wanted to see how the platform worked, so I brought him over to show him, and then he wanted to see it done again, so I just used this little heart to stamp next to the house just to show him how it would work. I really didn't need to use the platform for this little heart, but he really thought that was a cool tool. He hasn't really seen these stamping platforms before. But yeah, I'm so happy I got to just play around with this little platform just for that little bit, because I think this is going to be so helpful in helping me stamp if I could just not over ink the stamp. But anyways, I forgot I did a little bit of stamping on here. That was a lot of fun. And now I'm just adding my journaling. It just says, Thomas, Mom, and I had so much fun in this interactive museum of, and then my word, science. So I think that worked out well. I'm just going to add 3 tiny clusters of little black Nuvo drops, and I think we're done after that. So I was really happy with everything I got used up on here. There's not a lot of ephemera left over there, so I'm really hoping that my next couple projects I can really use a lot of what's left. But here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.